You've had the same cardinals visiting your feeder for years, and it's not just habit. They remember you, they know your yard, they choose you. One bird will return in the dead of winter, another will appear when you're gone, and a third will sit still for you like no other. Stay to the end, because the truth about their loyalty will make you rethink everything you thought you knew. Number 1. Cardinals are more than just colorful visitors. They're returning guests who know your yard by heart. These birds remember where you placed your feeder, even if it's no longer there, and will show up year after year like old friends. According to the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, some northern cardinals have been recorded returning to the same backyard for as long as 15 years straight. That loyalty is rare in the bird world and speaks to their strong memory and attachment to familiar spaces. What this means for you is simple. Once a cardinal finds your yard, they're likely to keep coming back, making your backyard a consistent and cherished part of their lives. It's like having a feathered neighbor who never forgets your face. These birds aren't just coming back for the food, they're coming back because they know you. Research from the University of Washington reveals that cardinals can recognize individual humans and link them to reliable food sources. It's as if they keep a mental picture of your face, your voice, and the way your yard looks, even when you're not around. This ability makes them more than just visitors. They become part of the daily rhythm of your home. You might not see them every day, but when they do appear, they're not just passing through, they're checking in, just like an old friend. Their loyalty is built on trust, memory, and the simple pleasure of knowing where they belong. This connection turns your yard into a place they can always count on, even if it's been a few seasons since they last visited. But cardinals don't just rely on sight to find their way home. According to a study in PNAS, they can even identify feeders through smell and the sound of your voice. Imagine a bird that can pick out your yard from a crowd just by the way you speak or the scent of your feeder. It's a powerful combination of senses that makes them not only loyal, but incredibly adaptable. This ability gives them a unique advantage in the wild, ensuring they always know where to find food in safety. Your yard, in their eyes, becomes more than just a place. It's a home, a haven, and a promise of return. And what's even more fascinating is that this behavior hints at the complex social and cognitive abilities of these birds, which we've only begun to understand. As we look further into the lives of cardinals, we'll uncover more about how they navigate their world, and what that means for the birds that share our yards. Number 2. The secret language of cardinals is more than just a pretty song. It's a complex system of communication that happens right in your yard. These vibrant red birds use a variety of calls, each with a specific meaning, from warning of danger to signaling the presence of food. Male cardinals, in particular, have been recorded using over 20 distinct vocalizations, some of which are unique to their territory. This diversity in sound helps them establish dominance and attract mates. Understanding this language can transform your backyard into a living classroom. What this means for you is that every time you see a cardinal, you're witnessing a conversation that's been happening for generations. Beyond their natural calls, cardinals have a surprising ability to mimic human speech, especially in backyard environments where they become familiar with people. A 2021 study from the University of Michigan revealed that these birds can repeat phrases like hello or thank you when they visit feeders regularly. This mimicry is not just random, it's a way for them to integrate into the soundscape of your yard and even engage with you. You might hear your own voice echoed back at you from a tree, a phenomenon that's both fascinating and a sign of trust. Their vocal flexibility shows how adaptable and intelligent they are, even in urban or suburban settings. This interaction is a rare window into the social lives of wild birds. What makes this secret language even more intriguing is that cardinals are not just mimicking sounds, they're learning them like a child learning to speak. The more they interact with your presence, the more they begin to understand the rhythm and tone of your voice. This behavior hints at a deeper level of cognitive ability, one that is still being studied by ornithologists. As you observe their calls and mimicry, you become part of a unique dialogue that's both personal and profound. The next section will reveal how this communication influences the entire ecosystem of your backyard, and how you can participate in it more deeply than your backyard, and how you can compartmentalize of cognitive ability. Number 3. The bond you never knew you share is more profound than you might imagine. Cardinals aren't just visitors to your yard, they're forming emotional connections with you. Research from the National Audubon Society reveals that these birds can develop attachments to humans who feed them regularly and interact with them in a calm, friendly manner. This connection is not just about food, it's about trust and recognition. What this means for you is that your yard has become a place of safety and familiarity for these birds, much like their own territory. This bond can deepen over time, transforming your simple act of feeding into a meaningful relationship. What you might not realize is that cardinals behave towards you in ways similar to how they interact with their mates. Birders have noticed that these birds approach humans with the same curiosity and affection they show to their own kind. This is not mere coincidence, it's a sign of deep trust. Their behavior suggests that they recognize your presence and may even associate you with safety and comfort. Think of it as a silent communication, a bond that goes beyond the physical. Over time, this connection can create a space where cardinals feel more at ease, coming closer and even engaging in behaviors that mimic courtship or territorial displays. Even more astonishing is the loyalty these birds can show. A 2019 study found that cardinals will delay their migration if their human companion is absent, a behavior that highlights an emotional depth previously unobserved in wild birds. This loyalty suggests that cardinals are not just feeding at your table, they're forming a relationship that feels personal and meaningful. Their return is not just for food, but for your presence. This bond is a rare and beautiful thing, one that speaks to the power of consistency and care. And if you're wondering what this means for your next visit, keep watching. There's more to this connection than you might imagine. Was more to this connection than you might have made. Number 4. The mystery of the missing cardinals. Have you ever noticed how some cardinals disappear for months, only to return as if they never left? It's a puzzling behavior that scientists are still trying to understand. What makes these birds vanish only to reappear in the same yard? Some researchers believe cardinals may be tracking human presence through scent or sound, even when they're not seen. This invisible connection keeps them linked to your yard, even during their absence. What this means for you is that your yard may hold a lasting bond with these birds, even when they're gone. There are countless unexplained stories of cardinals returning months later, as though time had no effect on their memory of your yard. A 2020 article in the journal Animal Behavior highlighted a case where a cardinal returned to a feeder after its human companion had moved away entirely. How do these birds remember your yard, even when they're not around? Scientists speculate that cardinals may be using environmental cues, like the sound of a lawnmower or the scent of your garden, to navigate back to familiar territory. These invisible threads of connection are still being studied, but they suggest a deep and mysterious relationship with your home. It's as if the yard itself has a voice that calls them back. What if your yard is more than just a place for cardinals to eat and nest? What if it's a part of their story, even when they're not there? There's so much we still don't understand about how these birds remember and return. Some experts think they may even be following subtle human patterns, like the rhythm of your daily routines. This invisible bond between you and these birds is a mystery that's far from solved, and it raises an intriguing question. If cardinals can remember your yard, what else might they know about you? The next section will reveal the surprising ways cardinals seem to understand the world around them. Number 5. The secret to their loyalty lies not just in the food you leave or the shelter you provide, but in the connection you build with them. Northern cardinals, for instance, can recognize human voices within 5 feet, as shown in a 2022 study from the University of Florida. These birds are not merely reacting to your presence, they are forming a bond that goes beyond survival. They learn your voice, your habits, and even your name, responding with unique calls that show they know you. This level of recognition is rare in the wild and speaks to the depth of their intelligence. What this means for you is that your yard is more than a habitat. It's a relationship waiting to grow. What sets these birds apart is their ability to associate your name with positive experiences, much like a dog learning its owner's voice. Birdwatchers have reported cardinals responding to their names with calls that seem almost personal, showing they've internalized your identity. This recognition is not random, it's a learned behavior, a testament to their capacity for memory and emotional attachment. In some scientific circles, this bond has even been likened to the loyalty seen in domesticated animals, revealing a depth of connection rarely observed in the animal kingdom. This loyalty is not only impressive, it's a sign that your yard has become a sanctuary for these intelligent creatures. Imagine the trust they place in you when they come to you without fear. There's something almost heartwarming about the way these birds return, not just for food, but for familiarity. They've learned your voice, your rhythm, and even your tone, treating your yard as an extension of their own world. It's a rare and beautiful kind of loyalty, one that reminds us that the wild is not as distant as we sometimes believe. Their ability to form such bonds may hint at a deeper emotional intelligence than we've ever imagined. What this means is that your yard isn't just a place where birds come to survive. It's a place where they come to feel safe, valued, and even loved. And as you continue to nurture this connection, you'll soon discover that the birds are watching you just as closely as you're watching them. Number 6. What you're missing in your yard is more than just the fleeting presence of cardinals. It's a story of loyalty, memory, and connection. These birds return to the same yard, sometimes years after their last visit, showing an uncanny ability to remember places they've been. According to the National Wildlife Federation, there are over 12,000 documented cases of this behavior, proving that cardinals are more than just backyard visitors. They're returning companions, silently watching, waiting, and recognizing the familiar. This loyalty is a rare and beautiful thing, one that speaks to the depth of their bond with humans. What this means for you is that your yard is not just a place for feeding birds, it's a story of loyalty, memory, and trust. Cardinals do more than return, they remember. A recent study revealed their startling ability to recall the exact time of day their human feeds them, even after a year apart. It's as if they're keeping an internal clock that syncs with your schedule, waiting patiently for the moment you appear. This kind of memory is not just practical, it's emotional. Some males have even been observed singing for hours after the loss of a human companion, as if mourning the absence of someone they knew well. This behavior is a window into their emotional lives, suggesting a level of awareness and attachment that's rarely acknowledged. The next time you hear that familiar song, you might be listening to a bird that's emotional. What cardinals are telling you is that your yard is more than a stop on their journey. It's a home in the making. Their return, their memory, and even their mourning speak to a bond that goes beyond feeding and survival. These birds are watching you, learning from you, and in some cases, even grieving with you. The next layer of their story, how they communicate with each other and how they shape your yard's ecosystem, will reveal even more about the silent, unspoken dialogue that takes place every day. What you're missing, it turns out, is not just their presence, but the depth of their presence, but the depth of their presence, but the depth of their understanding of your world. You stand at the window, heart still, as the cardinal returns. It's not just a bird, it's a whisper from the past, a visitor who remembers. Its crimson feathers catch the light like a prayer, and for a moment, time stops. You feel the weight of years, of absence, of longing. It doesn't speak, but you know. You've been waiting for it too. In that silent moment, the line between science and soul blurs. You believe, not because you must, but because it feels true. And in that truth, you are not alone. The cardinal sits still, as if holding its breath, as if saying, "I've come back." You feel it in your chest, a quiet understanding that transcends time and reason. This is more than a bird visiting a feeder. It's a moment of grace, of recognition, of love that doesn't need words. You don't know why it came, but you know it matters. In the stillness, you feel a connection that science cannot explain, yet your heart knows it's real, and in that knowledge you find peace. What's the most unexpected moment you've ever had with a cardinal in your yard? I want to hear your stories. Leave a comment below, and don't forget to share this with your fellow bird lovers. Whether you're a seasoned birder or just starting out, there's always something new to learn. I'll see you in the next one.